Manchester United supporters may yet find themselves witnessing the sight of Mason Greenwood in a red shirt once more. Reports suggest that the club inserted a buyback clause in the deal that saw him depart Old Trafford for Olympique de Marseille. United's hierarchy reached the conclusion earlier this summer that parting ways with Greenwood was the best course of action. His sale was viewed not only as the drawing of a line under a turbulent chapter but also as a means of generating much-needed funds for further recruitment during the transfer window. Last week, matters were brought to a head when Greenwood's move to Marseille was finalised. The French side agreed a financial package thought to be worth in the region of €30 million, thus securing the services of the once-heralded academy graduate. According to The Telegraph, however, United were keen not to close the door entirely on Greenwood's career at Old Trafford. The inclusion of a buyback clause was seen as a safeguard, ensuring that if circumstances change and Greenwood flourishes on the continent, United would still possess a mechanism to re-sign him. The logic behind the decision is clear enough. Greenwood's natural ability had long been a source of excitement at Carrington. Blessed with a two-footed finishing technique and an instinctive knack for finding space, he had been widely tipped as a future star for both club and country before his off-field controversies halted that trajectory. United officials were well aware that allowing such a gifted footballer to depart without any form of contingency could prove to be a strategic misstep. For that reason, the buyback option was quietly but deliberately woven into the agreement with Marseille. Yet, while the clause exists in theory, the practical likelihood of it being activated remains slim. The prevailing mood in English football, and indeed across much of British public life, is coloured by the so-called cancel culture which has engulfed Greenwood's reputation domestically. The notion of Greenwood returning to Premier League football, let alone donning the shirt of Manchester United once again, would be met with significant scrutiny and vocal opposition from a number of quarters. The club is acutely conscious of how sensitive and potentially divisive such a move could be amongst supporters and the wider community. Thus, while the buyback clause offers a degree of insurance from a purely sporting perspective, the political and cultural realities of football in Britain render its usage improbable at best. It is a card United hold, but one they may never dare to play. From United's standpoint, however, the deal is not without longer-term benefits beyond the buyback option. The structure of the agreement ensures that the club will be entitled to a sizable portion of any future sale. Specifically, United stand to receive 50% of the profit should Marseille decide to cash in on Greenwood down the line. This arrangement could prove lucrative. Should Greenwood rediscover his form and attract interest from Europe's elite, Marseille would undoubtedly command a substantial fee. In such a scenario, United would be in line for a windfall without having to confront the thorny question of his return to English football. For Marseille, the acquisition is a gamble that may pay handsomely. They are investing in a footballer of undeniable ability whose market value has been depressed by circumstance. If Greenwood excels in Ligue 1, the French club could well position themselves for both sporting success and financial reward. United supporters, meanwhile, remain divided. Some continue to recall the excitement Greenwood generated as a teenager breaking into the first team. Others, however, believe his chapter with the club is closed, arguing that his return would bring more turmoil than triumph. The episode underscores the complicated intersection between talent, morality, and the modern football industry. United's inclusion of the buyback clause reflects both their recognition of Greenwood's rare ability and their pragmatic approach to protecting the club's interests, even as they distance themselves publicly. Whether Greenwood ever strides out at Old Trafford again is, in truth, doubtful. But his story serves as a reminder that in football, as in life, bridges are rarely burned completely. The flames may dim, but the embers of possibility remain. The future of Maignan at AC Milan has swiftly emerged as one of the hottest talking points in the European transfer market. The French international, widely considered among the finest goalkeepers in world football, has reached a crossroads in his career. According to reports from Fitches, the 28-year-old is weighing up his options after delaying a move last summer, and speculation now suggests he may be ready to join Manchester United on a free transfer in 2026. Maignan's decision to put any major move on hold previously was not taken lightly. It is believed the goalkeeper wanted to ensure that his next step would offer the right sporting project, alongside the stature befitting a player of his caliber. That calculated patience has now opened the door to a far more enticing array of suitors, with United positioned near the front of the queue. At present, the Frenchman is entering the final stages of his contract with AC Milan. Though the Rossoneri hierarchy have made no secret of their desire to tie him down to fresh terms, no agreement has yet materialized. This contractual stalemate has naturally drawn the attention of several European giants eager to take advantage. Chelsea, for instance, have been admirers of Maignan for some time. The London club even explored the possibility of prizing him away from San Siro during the previous transfer window. In the end, however, the Blues opted to keep faith in their incumbent number 1, Robert Sanchez, believing stability to be the wiser course of action. The failure of Chelsea to act decisively has handed Manchester United a renewed opportunity. United, themselves still seeking stability between the posts after a turbulent few seasons, view Maignan as a long-term solution. The attraction is obvious. A goalkeeper of his pedigree available without a transfer fee in 2 years' time represents a coup for any club. The situation also ties neatly into United's broader transfer strategy. The club remain open to parting ways with Andre Onana, who has yet to fully convince since arriving from Inter Milan. Meanwhile, young Belgian Sen Lammens, recently recruited, is regarded more as a developmental option than an immediate first-team regular. For United, the lure of Maignan is not simply about filling a gap in their squad. Rather, it is about re-establishing a sense of authority and reliability in a position that has defined their greatest eras. The legacy of great goalkeepers at Old Trafford, from Peter Schmeichel to Edwin van der Sar, casts a long shadow, and supporters yearn for another custodian capable of commanding similar trust. Naturally, United's pursuit of Maignan will not go uncontested. Clubs competing consistently in the Champions League, many of whom boast squads already geared for silverware, are monitoring developments closely. The Frenchman's next destination will surely depend not only on finances but on sporting ambition and the promise of elite competition. Even so, Manchester United retain a unique allure within the footballing world. Despite their recent struggles on the pitch, the club's global standing, historic prestige, and enduring ability to attract marquee talent remain powerful assets. These factors could yet prove decisive in swaying Maignan's thinking. For AC Milan, the scenario presents a delicate dilemma. The club have invested heavily in building a project under Stefano Pioli, and Maignan has been central to their progress. Losing him on a free transfer in 2026 would represent both a financial blow and a sporting setback, particularly given his leadership qualities and consistency. Negotiations between Milan and Maignan's representatives are ongoing, though progress has been painfully slow. Reports suggest that the goalkeeper is seeking a salary commensurate with his standing in the game, while Milan remain cautious about breaking their wage structure. That gap in expectations has prolonged the uncertainty.